Welcome to Funimation 3D. Look up at the moon tonight and imagine this. What if the moon was born from a giant collision in space long, long ago? It sounds like a movie scene, but it is actually one of the biggest science ideas about how our moon may have formed. Today, we're going on a fun space adventure to answer a huge question. How was the moon born? Our helper today is Luna the space cat. Luna is curious, playful, and always asks the questions kids ask. Luna's first question is perfect. Did the moon just pop into the sky one day? Great question, Luna. And the short answer is, probably not. Scientists think the moon formed over time, and the leading idea is called the giant impact theory. Before we jump into that big story, let's start simple. The moon is Earth's natural satellite. That means it is a large space object that travels around Earth. It is our closest space neighbor, and we see it in the sky at night, and sometimes even during the day. It looks like it glows, but here's a mythbuster. The moon does not make its own light. The moon shines because it reflects sunlight, so it's not like a lamp. It's more like a giant rocky ball catching sunlight and bouncing some of it toward us. Have you ever noticed the moon changing shape? Sometimes it looks full and round. Sometimes it looks like half a circle. Sometimes it's a thin crescent. The moon is still there the whole time. We just see different sunlit parts of it as it moves around Earth. Which moon shape is your favorite? Full moon, half moon, or crescent moon? Now let's travel way back in time to the early solar system, when Earth was very young. Early Earth was not the calm blue planet we know today. It was hotter, wilder, and still changing a lot. You can imagine it like a young planet still under construction. Space around it was busy too. There were many rocks and planet-sized objects moving around as planets were forming. Sometimes they passed each other, sometimes they collided. That was part of how the solar system grew. Scientists think that during this early time, a planet-sized space object may have collided with young Earth. This possible object is often called Theia. Luna asks, was Theia a real planet? The simple answer is, scientists think it may have been a planet-sized object, maybe around the size of Mars. They use the name Theia to talk about the object that may have been involved in this giant impact story. And this part is important. This was not a monster attack or a scary scene. It was a huge cosmic event in the early solar system. When Earth and Theia collided, a lot of rocky material was sent into space. Imagine a giant set of space puzzle pieces flying outward and swirling around Earth. Some of that material may have come from young Earth, and some may have come from Theia. Luna asks another smart question. How do scientists know that if nobody was there to watch it? Excellent question. Scientists learn by studying clues. They study moon rocks and Earth rocks. They use telescopes and spacecraft observations. They also build computer models to test what might happen when planet-sized objects collide. If the models make results that look like the Earth-Moon system we see today, that gives scientists more support for the idea. Science is a lot like detective work. You collect clues, test ideas, compare results, and keep learning. So what happened after the giant collision? At first, Earth was surrounded by a cloud and ring of rock and dust. This material is called debris, which means broken pieces left over after a big event. At first, it was messy, scattered, and swirling. But it did not stay that way forever. This is where gravity becomes the hero. Gravity is the invisible pull between objects. You can think of gravity like an invisible hug or pull. Small pieces of debris were pulled toward larger pieces. Then larger pieces pulled in more pieces. Tiny chunks bumped together, clumped together, and slowly grew. Luna says, so the moon grew piece by piece, like building a snowball? Exactly. That's a great way to picture it. Except this was a rocky snowball in space. Here's another mythbuster. The moon was not made in one night. It likely formed over time as rock and dust gathered together. It was a slow, amazing build. Piece by piece, gravity helped shape the debris into one large object, the moon. As the moon formed, Earth's gravity kept it nearby. The moon became Earth's companion. orbiting around our planet. And it has been with us for a very, very long time. Can you imagine watching the moon if you lived millions of years ago? People long ago looked up at the same moon we see today. Now you might wonder, why does the moon matter so much? Is it just pretty to look at? The moon is definitely beautiful, but it also helps Earth in important ways. One big way is ocean tides. Tides are the rising and falling of ocean water, and the moon's gravity plays a huge role in that. The moon's pull affects Earth's oceans, helping create patterns of high tide and low tide. If you've ever gone to the beach and noticed the waterline changing, the moon is part of that story. Pretty amazing, right? The moon also helps Earth stay more stable as our planet spins. Think of Earth like a spinning top. The moon helps keep that spinning more steady over long periods of time. That steadiness helps Earth's environment stay more predictable. Luna calls the moon Earth's space buddy, and honestly, that's a great name. The moon matters in another special way too. It has inspired people for thousands of years. People all over the world have looked up at the moon and told stories, made calendars, written songs and poems, and asked big questions. The moon is part science and part wonder. It helps us learn, and it also sparks imagination. And here is something really cool. When scientists study the moon, they also learn more about Earth. The moon is like a giant clue from the early solar system. It helps us understand what our space neighborhood was like long ago and how planets changed over time. Which sounds coolest to you, studying moon rocks, looking through a telescope, or making computer models like a space scientist? So how was the moon born? The leading idea is this. Young Earth may have had a giant collision with a planet-sized object often called Theia. Rock and dust debris spread around Earth. Gravity pulled those space puzzle pieces together over time. And slowly, the moon formed and became Earth's bright companion in the sky. That means every time you look up at the moon, you are looking at part of a giant cosmic story. A story of rocks, gravity, clues, and curiosity. Science helps us ask big questions like this, and it helps us keep exploring, testing, and learning new things. Luna the Space Cat has one final question, and it's for you. What space mystery should we explore next? Mars, shooting stars, or black holes? Thanks for exploring with us. Like, share, and subscribe to Funimation 3D.